Okay, so ayan. So this is the second recording, no? So it's about proof. So for those na hindi umabot dito, so you can watch this video so that you can um understand yung topic. And guys, make sure lang na hindi nyo to pinapanood no parang nakikinig, no, nakikinig lang. So make sure na you are paying attention to this. So, dito guys, ano yung pag-uusapan natin dito sa proof? Diba, dun sa rule of inference, ginamit natin siya para malaman kung valid yung argument. No? So, dito naman sa proof, so gagamit tayo ng argument para ma-indicate natin whether the statement is uh, we can accept the student as theorem, or we can accept that the that the statement is true. So gagamitin natin ng proof. So again, kagaya to nung sa geometry nyo, if you can remember, no, for you to be able um, to declare, for example, kailangan mo i-declare kung yung dalawang angle is congruent. So, kailangan mo ng proof, di ba? Para masabi mo na congruent yung iyong dalawang angle, no? So, define natin. So, a proof is a valid argument that establishes the truth of a mathematical statement. So, since alam na natin kung yung argument ay valid, so, pwede nating magamit yung mga argument na yun to give proof, no, dun sa mga statement, mathematical statement. So a proof can use the hypothesis of the theorem if any axioms assumed to be true in previously proven theorems. Using these ingredients and rules of inference, the final step of the proof establishes the truth of the statement being proved. So dito, malalaman na natin kung yung statement natin is proven or hindi, di ba? So, define muna natin yung mga terminologies na kailangan natin, no? Yung definition, formal statement yan, ng meaning ng word. So, it can stand alone. Kapag sinabing it can stand alone, kahit baliktarin mo yung conditional statement niya, di ba? Kunwari, this is a biconditional statement, no? Na yung if P then Q is logical equivalent dun sa if Q then P. So, yung theorem natin, a statement that can be demonstrated to be true by accepted mathematical operations and arguments. In general, a theorem is an embodiment of some general principle that makes it part of a larger theory. So, yung theorem natin is general principle. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabing general principle, lahat nung nasasakupan ng theorem na yun should be true. Kasi kung hindi siya pwede maging theorem. And proposition, again, declarative statement siya that either true or false. So yung lemma, shorter version ng theorem. So it's a precise statement na part ng theorem that is precise, no? Na nakafocus lang on the certain idea. So conjecture, it is a statement that is being proposed to be a true statement, usually on the basis of some partial evidence, a heuristic argument, or the intuition of an expert. So, basically, most of it is believed to be true, to be true statement. So, even though partial evidence yung kailangan dito. So, and intuition. So, we are parang simile, it is believed to be true. Yung corollary ay proposition that follows with little or no proof required from one already proven. So, ito, ginagamit natin to kapag proven na, no? Konting paliwanag na lang. Parang little proving na lang yung kailangan dahil nga yung na-prove na siya ng mga previously na statement. So, let's have this as an example, no? So, let us say that P and Q are two propositions in an if-then statement. P would be the hypothesis and Q would be the conclusion. So ito yung example natin. If a triangle is a right triangle with sides A, B, and C as hypotenuse, then A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So ipo-prove natin yan kung totoo ba tong statement na to na kapag yung triangle, kapag right triangle, and C yung hypotenuse ay equal siya sa A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So this is one kind of the statement that we must prove, no? Ilalagay natin yung mga statements that will make this that will explain whether this statement is proven or not. So there are two ways to present proof. So again, in presenting proof, lalo na kapag sa mathematical argument, basically sa geometry, no? Sinabi ko dun sa 2105 kanina na isa sa side hustle ko is I'm tutoring foreign students. I'm tutoring math. So meron akong dalawang geometry class, no? And part nung geometry, big part is to present proof, no? So kung congruent ba yung dalawang angle, so paano mo masasabi, ano yung explanation doon, bakit tama yung statement, di ba? So kailangan mo i-present yung mga proof. And ito guys, no, ako ano yung pinaka-importante dun sa proof, there's no other way. Sabi nung book na ginagamit ko, commonly ginagamit to sa US curriculum. So, book ni Ron Larson. So, it's really a good book. I'm very envious na yung mga foreign students are having good books. Anyway, so, ang sabi niya doon, there's no other way to present proof but to really memorize all the theorems and postulates. No, there's no other way. Parang hindi naman niya sinabi na kailangan word for word yung memorization, di ba? Pero there's no other way but really to understand by heart yung mga theorem na yun. And uh, sa akin, parang when I read that, parang it takes diligence talaga to study geometry. So anyway, ayan, meron tayong two ways to present. So meron tayong outline form, tsaka paragraph form, no? Either naka-outline siya, o tataan nyo lang dito kapag naka-outline. Coming from the word outline, no? Just like this. So parang ano siya, naka-enumerate. Ito yung mga statement mo, ganyan. Then, yung iyong paragraph form naman, naka-narrative, no? And basically, ano dito, tama din to, no? Pero sa akin, ako mas prefer ko talaga naka-outline. Hindi ko sinasabi na yun lagi yung gagamitin. Pero pag outline kasi kita mo kagad eh. Line by line. Parang ganun. Pag naka-paragraph, minsan sakit sa mata. Parang hindi mo alam kung tapos na ba yung statement, nasan yung tuldok, ganyan. So anyway, you can present your argument or your proof using either of these. Oh, this is an example, no? So, kunwari, um, ito yung meron kang if x is a number with 5x plus 3 is equal to 33, then x is equal to 6. So, you will start your proof having an assumption. So, dapat may assumption ka muna, di ba? May assumption ka. Then, yung assumption mo, mamaya i-explain ko sa inyo dun sa type ng proof. It depends upon the type of proof. No, yung mga assumption mo. Kasi magkakaiba pa yan kung ano ibibigay mo na assumption. So, depende yan kung anong type ng proof yung gagamitin. Pero, and yung mga type ng proof na yun, meron pa yung kung saan mo ginagamit. No? Pero ito, just for the sake of an example. So, this is an example of proof. So, mag-assume ka. So, dito, actually, this one, ang ginamit dito is a direct proof. So, mamaya explain ko yun. So, that is one kind of proof. So, inassume mo na yung hypothesis, di ba? Yung statement mo, it's a conditional statement. So, and the hypothesis of your conditional statement is your assumption, di ba? So, therefore, ang conclusion mo dyan, para masabi mo na tama yung statement mo, yung conclusion mo dyan is the conclusion will be true, di ba? So, kung dapat x is equal to 6 kapag prove mo, dapat yung x ay equal to 6. Kasi kung hindi, ibig sabihin yung statement mo is not valid, di ba? Or yung statement mo is not true. So, ayan. ayan, may assumption ka, 5x plus c is equal to 33, then you will use the inverse operation, di ba? Gagamitan mo na algebra yan. You will evaluate. So, kung lumabas, kapag ginamitan mo na algebra, di ba? So, x is equal to 6. So, therefore, kung tama yung conclusion, no, ah, lumabas dun sa assumption mo, tama yung conclusion. Ibig sabihin, tama yung iyong statement, no? Pero, ang gusto lang i-point dito is, ganito yung itsura kapag naka-outline form. Ano? So, kapag naka-paragraph form, ganito lang din yung itsura. Again, similar lang din yan. So, present mo lang siya ng naka-paragraph or naka-narrative. And they are both correct, no? So, punta tayo doon sa mga kinds ng proof. So, meron tayong apat dito. So, again, ang titingnan nyo dito, guys, is para malaman nyo yung difference niya is ano yung assumption. Difference ng mga assumption, no? So, unahin natin tong direct proof. So, this is a very common. So, this is the one that we use dun sa kaninang example, the direct proof. So, dito, ang tatandaan nyo dito, we use a conditional statement, no? If ganyan, then ganon. So, ano yung hypothesis mo dito? I mean, ano yung assumption mo? Again, sa assumption kayo at sa conclusion titingin, doon sa pagkakaiba-iba. So, sa direct proof, walang trust issue, no? Yung direct proof, yung P mo, ang assumption mo ay P ay true and yung conclusion is also true. No, that's your assumption. So, again, i-define ko lang muna. No? A direct proof is a mathematical argument that uses rules of inference to derive the conclusion from the premises. In a direct proof, let us say we need to prove a given theorem in a form of if P then Q, then steps in taking direct proof would be assume P is true, conclusion is true. So, dito, remember modus ponens, di ba? Sa modus ponens, you have a conditional statement. Then the other premise is the hypothesis, 'di ba? And we assume that the hypothesis is true. So therefore, 'di ba, dun sa conclusion ng argument na 'yon is yung conclusion mo ay true. Okay? So kung true yung conclusion, ibig sabihin yung statement mo is true. Okay? So tingnan natin 'to. So yung mga example guys dito, it deals with even and odd integers, no? Kasi either or kasi yan, kaya mas madali siyang gamitin as ano, parang as an example. So again, may mga integer lang tayo na isasama dito. So yung mga integer na yon, how can you say that an integer is even? So kapag minultiply mo ng 2 yan, so kunwari k mo is an element of all integer, di ba? O kunwari element yan ng all integer. Then, pag minultiply mo sa 2, ang any integer, even number na yan, ba? So, that's how you determine an even number. Eh, paano mo matidetermine yung add? Eh, di kapag mag-plus 1 ka sa isang even number. No, we present that as an even number, as an odd number, okay? So, any even number, you add 1, odd number yun. Ina-explain ko to, so again, dapat gets na to, di ba, from your linear algebra. Pero yun nga, since it is an example, so ina-explain ko na din. So, tingnan natin to. For direct proof, ang assumption mo ay hypothesis is true. Diba? So, ito yung hypothesis mo, x is an even integer. So, that's your assumption. Diba? Kasi direct proof yung ginagamit mo. So, ina-assume mo na true yung hypothesis. So, kaya ang assumption mo dito, x is an even integer. So, now, you will explain it in a way that your statement will be an even integer and there's no other way but to multiply an integer to 2. Kasi kahit anong integer mo yan, so even number lagi yan. No? So, ayan. So, by definition, x is equal to 2a. For some, a is an element of all integers. No, nag-assign ka lang, yung x mo ay even number. So, there's no other way to represent an even number as an integer multiplied by 2, no? So now you will use this value to evaluate the x squared minus 6x plus 5. So if ginawa mo yan, ang kakalabasan niyan, no, medyo nakakahilo lang yung mga numbers, no? So in short, yung x ay gagamitin mo dun sa yung equation. So kapag ginamit mo yung x is equal to 2a, it will be equal to x squared, ah, ulit, 2a squared. So ang kakalabasan ng equation mo will be like this. So 2a, tapos squared mo yun, minus 6 times 2a plus 5. No? So, i-simplify natin, no? It will be 4a squared minus 12a plus 5. Pero, seeing this one, no? 4a squared minus 12a plus 5, you cannot, it's not the same as this. So, hindi mo siya ma-determine, ano ba to? Add ba to or even? So, you find a way to factor out 2. No, kasi kapag may pinactor out ka na 2, alam mo lang din kung pag na-factor mo yun lahat ng 2, ibig sabihin, even yun, di ba? Pero kapag may plus 1 sa huli, that will be odd. So makita nyo, 5, that is an odd number, di ba? So hindi mo naman pwedeng ma-identify agad kung itong 4a squared minus 12a plus 5 ay even or integer. So you factor out 2. Pero paano mo magagawa yun? Hindi mo naman mapapactor out sa 5. So kaya ang gagawin mo dyan, ina-explain ko lang ha, ito din yung nandun sa outline. Ang gagawin mo dyan, you will find ways to make 5, part of 5 will be factored out by 2. So it will be 4 plus 1, di ba? Since 5 is equal to 4 plus 1, you can represent that 5 as 4 plus 1. So it will look like this. So 4a squared minus 12a plus 4 plus 1. So why did we do that? So that this term can be divided into 2. You can factor out by 2. So pag finactor out mo yan, so it will be 2 times 2a squared minus 6a plus 2. Diba? Plus 1. So now, you have this term. And this is also an integer. Diba? This is a different integer. So you can name this as an integer k. So yun lang yung sinabi dun sa ano, di ba? So sinabi dun sa example. So it seems to be like if you represent 2a squared minus 6a plus 2 as k, diba, where k is an element of all integers. No? So it will be 2 times k plus 1. So ano ibig sabihin nitong 2 times k plus 1? So it means that it is an odd number. Di ba? This is an odd number. 2 times k plus 1. Remember, this is an even number, di ba? 2k is an even number and kapag nag-add 1 ka sa isang even number, that's an odd number. No? So, ano conclusion mo dyan? Yung conclusion mo is true. Di ba? So, yung conclusion mo is true. True kasi same ka ng conclusion dito. You end up having the same conclusion. So, ibig sabihin, yung iyong statement is valid. Ano? So, pwede mong i-gamitin yung statement na yan as uh, proven. Okay? So, may example pa dito, no? Ito naman ang example dito ay if A and B are both odd integers, then the sum of A and B is an even integer. So, dito, again, ang assumption mo will be odd integer. A and B are both odd integer. Tapos, ang conclusion mo dapat, yung sum ng dalawang odd integer ay even integer. So, you will use integer again. No? So, ito lang ginamit mo dito. Assume that A and B are both odd integers. Diba? Kasi yan yung assumption. So, para ma-represent mo yung A ay odd integer, gagamitan mo ng even number plus 1. Okay, so A is equal to 2K1 plus 1 para maging odd number yan. So yung B mo ay 2K2 plus 1. Bakit may plus 1? Again, if you add 1 to an even number, that's an odd number. So, yan yung hypothesis mo, di ba? So, if 2K plus 1, then yung sum daw ng A at B ay even number. So, dapat kapag lumabas yung A plus B, it should be even number, no? So, tingnan natin kung magiging even number. So, kapag in-evaluate natin yan, ang kakalabasan is 2K1 plus 2K2 plus 2. In-add mo lang to, no? 2K1 plus 2K2 tapos 1 plus 1. So, 2. Then, if you factor out by 2, diba, it can be factored out by 2. So, ang kakalabas niyan dyan is 2 times K plus 1, K plus K1 plus K2 plus 1. So, this one, K1 plus K2 plus 1, this is we can represent that as an integer, no? So, for example, anong integer ba ginamit dito? So, K, no? Ginamit mo yung K. So, ibig sabihin, yung A plus B is equal to 2K. So, yung sum ng A plus B ay even integer. And the conclusion is, it shows that it's an even integer. So, it means that the statement is true, no? So, yan yung paragraph 1. Let's go to the indirect proof, guys. So, for the indirect proof, this is the contrapositive naman, di ba? Kanina, dun sa direct proof, you are believing that the hypothesis is correct and the conclusion is also correct. But this time, dito sa indirect proof, you are using the contrapositive of the conditional statement. So, kunwari, meron kang conditional statement na if P then Q, yung assumption mo is yung Q mo ay false, di ba? Ano nga yung contrapositive? I-recall nga natin yung contrapositive. So, ano yung contrapositive ng conditional statement? 'Di ba? So, logically equivalent 'yan sa conditional statement. If not Q, then not P. 'Di ba? So, logically equivalent 'yan. So, if P, then Q, logically equivalent sila sa if not Q, then not P. Okay, so logically equivalent sila. So, dito, kung dun sa direct proof, ang assumption mo ay true ang P at true ang Q. Conclusion ay true ang Q. Dito naman, assumption mo ay true yung ah false yung iyong conclusion. Therefore, false ang iyong hypothesis. Nakuha? False yung conclusion, therefore false yung hypothesis. So, in short, it is connected to the modus tollens, di ba? Naalala pa yon, modus tollens. So, dito, ang kaibahan nito, that your assumption will be the negation of the conclusion, not Q. And the conclusion will be the negation of the hypothesis. Okay? So, define ko lang, indirect proof or contrapositive proof is a type of proof in which a statement to be proved is assumed to be false. And if the assumption leads to an impossibility, then the statement assumed false has been proven to be true. Di ba? So, kung impossible, kung false yung false, eh di true. Parang galon. So, yun yung gusto mong makita. So, kung kunwari, ang assumption mo ay not Q, di ba? So kung dun sa mga argument mo, ang lumabas ay ang conclusion ay not P, so ibig sabihin valid yung iyong statement. Pero kapag ang lumabas is, kung ang assumption mo ay not Q, pero ang lumabas ay P, ibig sabihin, hindi yan logically equivalent for all the premises. So, hindi totoo or hindi proven yung iyong statement, original statement. Okay, so ito yun, no? For the indirect or contrapositive proof. Not Q is true. Ibig sabihin, Q is false. And P, therefore, P is false. Okay? So, ito medyo may trust issue. So, ito, tayo natin to. So, if X is divisible by 6, then X is divisible by 3. So, again, anong assumption mo? The negation of the conclusion. No? X is divisible by 3. Kaya yung assumption mo, X is not divisible by 3. 'di ba? Not you. Nakakuha? Tapos yan, maglalagay ka na ng mga statement mo. Then, x is not equal to 3k. 'Di ba? Kasi nga, hindi siya divisible daw sa 3. Hindi represent mo lang yung x is not divisible by 3. So, and x is not equal to 3k. Wherein, again, para masabi mo na divisible sa 3 yun, so any integer that you multiply by 3, divisible sa 3 yun. So, ibig sabihin, it is not equal to 3k. Ano, where k is all integer. Then, you will now determine, it follows that mag-a-assign ka ngayon ng another integer, di ba? So, therefore, kung hindi siya equal sa 6, di ba? So, hindi siya divisible by 6, you will now give another proof na hindi yun divisible by 6. So, x is not equal to 2m times 3. So, para it is an integer, m is also an element of all integers. So, therefore, yung x ay hindi equal sa 6m. So, ibig sabihin, x is not divisible by 6. No? So, ibig sabihin lang, yung x na not equal to 3, no? Nagbigay ka na example dito. X is not equal to 3. Therefore, hindi siya divisible by 6. So, ibig sabihin, tama yung ano mo, original statement mo. Dahil yung iyong assumption is not you. Then, yung iyong conclusion ay not E. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, valid yung iyong original statement. So, may mga example pa dito, no? So, you can study this dun sa uh, PowerPoint natin. So, for the third one, we have proof by counterexample. So, ginagamit mostly sa theorem, sa mga theorem. And dito naman, ang ginagamit natin ay quantifier. So, we are using quantifiers. Okay? So, we are using quantifier na universal quantifier. Remember, it is a theorem, di ba? Kailangan it satisfies all. So, dapat lahat, no? Dapat lahat ay it will be satisfied by the statement. So, anong magiging, ano mo to? Magiging assumption mo. Ang assumption mo will be the negation of the uh, universal quantifier. No? Kaya counter example. So, parang pailalim yung attack mo. Yung parang masabi mo na totoo. Itatry mo na i-prove na mali yung negation. Diba? Kasi kapag mali yung negation, ibig sabihin, tama yung original example. Nakuha. So, it's a little bit tricky, di ba? Pero something that's why you need, as you listen to this, as you study this, I hope na you slow down. Okay? Please slow down in studying this. Okay, so to disprove this statement, we must prove its negation. No? So kung tama yung negation, di ibig sabihin mali yung original statement. Kung mali yung negation, ibig sabihin tama yung original statement. Okay? So let's take a look at this. So prove or disprove, no? So all prime numbers are odd. Sige nga, so tingnan natin. So kaya ang assumption mo dito, negation. Remember, no, yung iyong uh, for all x, p of x. Remember ano yung negation nito? Yung negation ng for all x, p of x is for some x, not p of x. Remember, that's the negation, di ba? So, kaya dito, some, di ba, ang ginamit, existential. Some prime numbers are even, not p of x. So, negation ng numbers are odd, di ba? So, kaya, some prime numbers are even. Okay? So, kapag na-prove mo na tama, may prime number na even, ibig sabihin mali ito, di ba? Pero kapag mali yung iyong negation, ibig sabihin, tama yung iyong original statement. Nakuha, guys? So, tingnan natin yung mga examples dito. So, by counter example, let n is equal to 2. So, by definition, ayan. So, dahil nga ang statement, ang iyong negation ay some prime numbers are even. So, kapag merong prime number na even, mali na agad to, 'di ba? Kasi na-prove mo yung negation, 'di ba? And binigay mo yung n is equal to 2. So, 2 is an even number because it is divisible by 2 and it is also prime number. So, kapag sinabing prime number, ang factor niya lang ay yung sarili tsaka 1. 'Di ba? So, prime number is, yun lang yung factor mo. Unlike kapag composite number, 'di ba? Kapag composite number, the factors are itself and other number. So, hindi lang itself and 1. Meron ka pang ibang number. May 2, 'di ba? So, ibig sabihin, some prime numbers are even numbers. Okay? So, may iba pang mga example dito. Again, you can study some of the examples. So, dito, i-prove mo yung x for all integers, x and y. If x plus y is even, then both x and y are even. So, pag daw x plus y ay even, ibig sabihin daw yung x tsaka y are even. Okay, so tingnan natin. So, negation mo dito, some integers x and y, if x plus y is odd, then x and y is odd. So, negated, no? Some integer, kapag daw x plus y is odd, then x and y is odd. Makita mo dito, this is the, ano, x plus y is odd. So, ito yung x mo, 2k1 plus 1. Ito yung y. So, ang lalabas niyan, 2k1 plus 2k2 plus 2. So, ibig sabihin, even number. So, yung x plus y mo dito is even number. Kasi 2 times k plus 1, k plus k2 plus 1. So, this is an integer, di ba? Pwede mong lagyan ng integer dyan. So, kung even number to, ibig sabihin, mali yung iyong negation, di ba? So, hindi totoo na ah kapag add yung x plus y, then yung x and y are odd numbers. Okay? So, kaya, ibig sabihin, yung original theorem mo ay true. Okay? So, lastly, proof by contradiction. So, dito, ang assumption mo naman is yung buong conditional statement is false. No? So, false yung buong conditional statement. So, paano mo yon? Remember sa conditional statement, kailan magiging false ang conditional statement? So, magiging false siya kapag ang iyong hypothesis ay true, pero ang iyong conclusion ay false, di ba? Yan lang yung combination na false ang conditional statement. So, anong assumption mo kapag contradiction? Dahil ang assumption mo nga ay yung conditional statement mo ay false. So, ito yung iyong assumption. Assumption mo ay true, pero ang assumption mo ay yung iyong conclusion ay false. No? Kaya not Q is also true. So, therefore, dito, ang assumption mo is P. If P, then not Q. So, di ba? False yan doon sa conditional statement. Then, you will try to arrive at a contradiction. So, kapag nakahanap ka, kapag na, na conclude mo that this is not true, di ba? So, kapag mali ang mali, I mean, kapag negated ang negated, double negation, di ba? Ibig sabihin yung original statement mo ay true. So, yung goal mo is makontra mo yung contradiction. So, kapag nakontra mo yung contradiction, ibig sabihin yung statement mo ay true. Okay? So, kunwari ito, no? So, if x plus x is equal to x, so that's your P, no? Then x is equal to 0, that's your Q. So, makita mo dito, ang iyong hypothesis ay x plus x is equal to x. No? Kasi you assume that the hypothesis is true. Pero i-assume mo din na yung conclusion mo is false. X is not equal to zero. Then now you can apply if x is not equal to zero. Therefore, x can any number, no? X can be any number. Pwedeng pwedeng maglagay ka dyan ng x is equal to 2, di ba? Pwede din yun. Pero kapag mathematically gusto mo, talagang mathematical yung argument mo. So, i-apply mo lang, no? Since x is not equal to zero, ibig sabihin, mayroong value yung x. So, simplify mo lang yan, no? So, x plus x is 2x is equal to x. So, you divide both sides by x to simplify, di ba? So, 2 is equal to 1. Eh, hindi equal to 1. No? So, 2 is not equal to 1. So, it means that yung iyong assumption is false. Diba? Ibig sabihin, mali yung assumption mo. So, kung mali yung assumption mo, which is the contradiction. So, contradiction ng contradiction, ibig sabihin, tama yung iyong original statement. Diba? Nakuha, guys. So, kung mali yung contradiction, ibig sabihin, tama yung original statement. Okay? Yan. So, ito pa, meron pa to. So, prove by contradiction that if x is even, then x plus 3 is odd. So again, anong assumption mo dyan? So ito yung P, ito yung Q. So ang assumption mo, x is even. No, yan yung una mong assumption. X is even, kaya x is equal to 2k. Any integer that you multiply by 2. No? Then, yung assumption mo is x plus 3 is even. No? Kasi nga, assumption mo is false yung conclusion. So, kung yung x plus 3 is even, then you can say that the statement is false, di ba? Kapag tama yung assumption, mali yung original statement. So, tingnan natin kung tama yung assumption. O, hindi pa natin alam. So, tingnan natin, no? So, since 2k, meron kang x is equal to 2k. So, ibig sabihin, dapat yung 2x plus 3 ay even. So, dapat yung 2k plus 3 is should be even. No? 2k plus 3, dapat even number dapat to. No? 2k plus 3. So, again, hindi mo pa ma-assume kung ano to, kung odd number, di ba? Or even number. Unless, i-present mo siya that can be factored out by 2. So, it will be 2k plus, uh, dito ka, ang ginawa kasi, x is equal to 2k minus 3. So, ang ginawa dito, so uh, x plus 3 is equal to 2k. No, parang yun yung ginawa dito sa example. So, parang ganito. Oh, wait. So, parang it will like x plus 3 is equal to 2k. Parang ganun. No? Kasi nga, even number daw yung x plus 3. So, if you will rearrange that, x is equal to 2k minus 3. Hindi yan divisible. So, pwede mong gawin na x is equal to 2k minus 4 plus 1. So, pwede din yun, no? Para ito, pwede mong i-factor out by 2. So, therefore, x is equal to 2 times a minus 2 plus 1. So, ibig sabihin yung x mo is odd number. Diba? This is an even integer. Meron kang plus 1. So, this one is an odd number. So, babalikan mo ngayon yung ano, hypothesis, no? So, ang hypothesis mo dito ay yung x ay even and x plus 3 ay even. Eh, kaso add, 'no? So, ibig sabihin mali yung assumption, 'di ba? Kung mali yung assumption, ibig sabihin, tama, tama yung original statement mo. Okey? Nakuha, guys? Ayun, so gano'n lang pala. So, again 'no, yung difference nung mga proof is depending on the, it depends upon the hypothesis 'no. So, again, for the direct proof, ah, ang assumption mo is, tama ang iyong hypothesis and tama yung conclusion 'no. For indirect or contrapositive, so ang assumption mo ay false yung conclusion and therefore false yung hypothesis. So that's your uh, assumption and conclusion. For the counter example, it deals with the negation of the quantifier. So kung tama yung negation, mali yung original statement. Pero kapag mali yung negation, tama yung original statement. Then, for the fourth one, for the contradiction, so for the contradiction, ang assumption ay true yung hypothesis and false yung conclusion. So kapag tama yung assumption, ibig sabihin mali yung original statement. Pero kapag mali yung negation, or mali yung contradiction, ibig sabihin tama yung original statement. Okay? So, yun lang. So this will be the second part of the video. So I encourage you to go to the module. You can answer the activity there so that you can assess if you really understand the topic. No, nandun din may explanation din doon. So go to that. So I trust you that you will be old enough no to use that. Okay? So guys, next video will be about Boolean algebra. So it will be shorter. So I hope you take time to study these topics. So yun lang, guys. Bye-bye.